guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to dye your own hair. Now let me just say first and foremost, I am not a licensed cosmetologist. I got all of these tips from my mom who is licensed. That's why I know what to get, how to use it, etc. But if you guys have any basic questions, I can definitely answer those. But please contact a cosmetologist if you have any questions about what kind of products you should use based on your hair and what look you're trying to go for. But today, this is just a video to show you guys how to do it. I've been dyeing my hair for about a year now, so it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. And today, I'm just gonna take you through the whole process and hope you guys love it. Let's jump in right into the video.
Guys, I'm going to Sally's right now. They're having a deal on the hair color that I use. Buy one, get one. Crazy good deal. So I have to take advantage of it. Alright guys, here we are in the Sally's hair dye aisle. As you can see, Sally's provides a lot of different options in color, which is amazing. And there are also many brands to choose from. I always use the Age Beautiful brand. There's multiple different red shades that I love to use. I'm showing you guys them all here. And I'm actually going to be purchasing these today. So here's the 6RR Light Intense Red, the 5VR Medium Plum Red Brown. Since these are buy one get one, I'm going to be getting multiple boxes in these colors. So here's the 5RR, 6RR, 5VR, and then here's also some developer that I'm getting today. Also a measuring cup, which will be awesome to have. Reusable latex gloves. And a shampoo cape. Alright, so now that I'm home, I wanted to go over the supplies with you guys and show you how each item is used in the process to dye my hair. So I did have to purchase a lot of new things today because I had ran out, but all of these play a really vital role in getting the perfect dye in my hair. So let's get started. Developer is an important product in the coloring process, so it opens up your hair cuticles, and the volume of developer you choose, I have 20 here, will determine how light or dark your hair will turn out to be. Here is the color I decided to go with, the 6RR Light Intense Red, and I have to use 2 boxes because I have so much hair. This measuring beaker is going to be a lifesaver. I don't know why I never thought to get one of these before, but I'm going to use it to mix in the developer and the color. Speaking of mixing, I'll be using this mixing bowl and the brush. This is where I'll mix together all of the color and the developer, and I'll use the brush to apply the color to my hair. These latex gloves will come in handy because if not, I'm going to have bright red dye all over my hands. And as well as this shampoo cape, it's going to protect all of my clothes because dyeing your hair gets messy. And speaking of messy, before I begin the dyeing process, I secure the area. I put a towel here in the sink as well as the towel behind me here on the door because the dye does splash, and once again it's red, so don't want that to stain everything. Then once the area is secured, I go ahead and put on my shower cape to protect my clothes. Alright, and now it's time to officially begin dyeing my hair. So as you can see here, I have the 6RR color. I'm going to squeeze out 2 fluid ounces into the mixing bowl. Alright, next I mix in the developer. Now this total bottle is 32 fluid ounces, but I'm only going to use 2 fluid ounces because that's the amount of color I just used. You always want to make sure that you use the same amount. Now here is where my little beaker comes into play. Going to be a lifesaver today. I'm going to pour it in, as you can see here, at 2 fluid ounces and mix it in with the color. And make sure you get every last drop in there. And now that it's all poured in, I'm going to take my brush here and begin mixing the color and developer together. Now it's really important to make sure that it's fully mixed, and sometimes it takes a few minutes. Now that it's all mixed, I'm going to grab my latex gloves here and begin applying the color to my hair. I start by applying the color on my part first. As you can see, my natural hair color is coming through right here, so I definitely want to get that all covered up. Now I'm going to add color onto the brush here and start applying it to my part. Now I'll begin on one side of my part and then do the other side. And just use soft but very detailed strokes. You want to make sure that you get every strand of hair. And now I'm going to work on the other side of my part. Now the key with this whole process is just to make sure that your hair is very saturated with the color, and it's okay to go back over parts that you have already done. Now I'm going to work down the right side of my head, and as you can see, I'm using the pointy side of this brush to section off my hair. Just make sure all of the sections are close together so you don't miss any spots. And then I'm going to begin applying the dye the same way I just did by going from one side and then to the other. Now I'm going to continue doing the rest of this side of my head off camera. I have this whole side done now. As you can see, it's very saturated with color. I just went section by section all the way down to my neck. So now that that side is complete, I'm going to be switching over to the other side of my head. I'll go back to my normal part here so I have a starting point. And here we go with the same process as before, just adding the dye to each side of my part. And making each section really close together, just like I'm doing here. The more dye you have in your hair, the harder it is going to be to section it off. I just wanted to let you know this, but hey, I got faith, you guys can do this. Also, you will get dye on your forehead, on your ears. It's okay, it will wash off, I promise. It's just something that's bound to happen when you dye your own hair. Alright, I'm finished up with the left side. Everything's saturated, everything looks great, we're good to go. I'm going to show you guys how to dye the back now, which is the hardest part. You can't see from the back of your head, obviously, but you just have to take the same steps that you took to do the left and the right side of your head, and it will work out fine. I've got my tongue out here because I'm ready to focus. Okay, I'm sectioning off the back here. Alright, keep checking my viewfinder here because I want to make sure that you guys can see everything. I've got a clump of dye on my brush, I sectioned off my hair, and I'm just applying it the same way. I'm doing the bottom section first. I'm adding it here to the top section. And since you guys can't see, the best way is just to feel with your other hand. You can tell where you already have dye at, and you can feel where the hair was sectioned before. So just go off of that. It really isn't as hard as it looks, or as hard as you might imagine it to be. Just make sure that you feel it going on to every part of the back of your head. And as you can see here, I'm just working down towards my neck. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier, the more dye you have in your hair, the harder it is to section off. And it will get messy. It will get a little bit ratty, I'm not gonna lie. But just keep doing the best you can to get all the dye in the sections. Alright, now that the back is done, I may have red all over my neck, but we are finished. With the dye that's left over from this first batch, I'm just going to continue to run it through the strands of my hair. And back over the roots as well. Just to make sure I didn't miss any spots. Okay, now it's time to mix the second batch. Your girl has a lot of hair, so we're going to mix 2 fluid ounces here of the color. And again, 2 fluid ounces of the developer here. I squeezed out the color here into the bowl. Now I'm adding in the developer. And then we're just going to mix it up like before. Now that it's all mixed together, it's time to start the second batch of color onto my hair. Now the reason for this is I'm going to go through the actual length of my hair. The roots are pretty saturated, pretty colored right now, but I'm just going to apply this through the strands of my hair. Also with this step, you can add a little more color onto the brush than you would previously, just to make sure that you get the ends and the strands throughout your hair very saturated. Now I'm working on the other side, just doing the same thing, running the color through the strands of my hair, all the way down to the ends. I've applied a lot of color to the left and the right side, as you guys can see, and now I'm going to start on the back. You'll find yourself going over the same spots that you already colored, but hey, that is totally okay because you don't want to miss any spots. I can't stress this enough. So if you feel like there's color on there, just keep going, add more color to it. As long as you have some in your bowl, add it to your hair. Once I get to this point, I will just use whatever color I have left and massage it into my hair. Alright guys, so all of the color is applied to my hair. I used the full bowl of the second batch. So I'm just rubbing it in, as you can see, and I know I look crazy. Look at all this red on my forehead, it's on my neck, it's on my ears, it's everywhere. But hey, it comes off, no big deal. It's what you gotta do for beauty, am I right, ladies? So now I'm just gonna pull my hair up into a bun. Can be kind of tricky because, like I said, with all the color in your hair, it can be really ratty. I'm just going to put it up here using a tight twist bun. And I would just use a black hair tie or one that you don't care about because it will get stained with the dye. The bun is secured. Now you guys can go ahead and take your cape off because you are going to let this sit for 45 minutes to let it process. And then once that's finished, we'll rinse it out. It's been 45 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and hop in the shower. Now I'm going to rinse out the color first, and then I'm going to apply the shampoo and conditioner. And that's all there is to it. Now let's check out my hair and see how it turned out.
Alright guys, so here is the final look. I got all of my roots, as you can see. Like I discussed, that's so important to make sure that you get all of that. All through here. And as you can tell, there is still some color on my face. That will happen. Don't freak out about it. I plan on taking another shower in the morning and washing my face before bed, so I'll give that a little scrub and get that off there. But yeah, that is how you dye your own hair. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any more in-depth questions, definitely contact a licensed cosmetologist and they will be more than happy to help you out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you learned something today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.